It was the 80s and I was just starting out with the guitar. I saw this guy playing with the band in the street. He played really fast on his Ibanez guitar. I remember he had a yellow Boss pedal on the floor. When the show was over, I approached him and I started asking him questions about guitar stuff. I knew nothing and he knew everything. He was super nice, I was just a kid, and he showed me a couple of fast licks. How do you play so fast? I asked him. I don't know, I just copy Yngwie, he said, and then laughed. Who's Yngwie? I asked. You don't know Yngwie? I don't. He stared at me and he said, you will. He gave me his pick and I went home with the certainty that if I wanted to play fast, I just had to copy Yngwie, right? A few years later, I bought Yngwie's REH tape and I finally understood what the guy in the band was saying. I also learned to pick fast by watching Yngwie's tape for hours and hours. I saw that he was inclining or slanting the pick a few degrees, and once I copied that, my entire picking technique changed, and I've been playing like that since then. A few decades later, Troy Grady released the great Cracking the Code series, and I thought, well, finally someone explains the Yngwie thing and creates a name for it. But after seeing many videos about this technique for years, I still don't know if it is what I'm doing. I only incline the pick to reduce the friction or the contact with the string as much as possible. I don't feel like I'm moving my wrist in one angle or another, since all my picking movement comes from my arm, not my wrist or my thumb. So is this pick slanting, or is it regular alternate picking with a slanted pick, which would be pick slanting? If you have a name for it, please let me know in the comments. Whatever it is called, probably pick slanting. I wanted to share some cool picking exercises with you. If you're struggling with your picking technique or you want to keep improving, this exercise may be a good addition to your practice routine. So for the sake of the video and the exercises, you hear me refer as what I do, the inclination thing, as pick slanting. I apologize in case it's not the exact or strictly the term that I should use. One very basic but very useful exercise is to play just an open string. Then you can play, for example, the E major scale on the first string. The Paul Gilbert sequence, it's always useful to practice picking, and so it's also useful to practice pick slanting. We can also use the Yngwie famous one-string lick. Let's go back to the Gilbert sequence and add an extra note to create a string skipping pattern. The pick will remain slanted when doing the string skipping. I'll show you with a close-up. Now let's go to the fun stuff, 6 string sequences. Should I use pick slanting all the time? I don't see why not. I prefer to use regular picking and then slant the pick when I need or want to do something fast. Let me give you one extra exercise that is great because it's repetitive and it never ends. It's great. Another question that I get a lot, does the pick matter? I don't think so. I prefer thick picks for this kind of stuff, but you can get away using thinner picks. For example, this is 0.8 and it will be the same. I mean, it will change the sound, but not the execution. Let's grab another one. Here's a Dunlop Jazz, I think. Here's a Gravity pick, one of the JHS ones. And this is a Yo-Yo one that came with a pedal. So it won't sound the same, but the execution will be the same. So I don't think the pick really matters a lot. For me at least. This is the one I use. I love this one. This is the Dunlop Flow 1.5. It's a great pick. So, is this pick slanting? Don't rush and use the metronome. And if you want your picking phrases to sound smoother, this is how you do it.